Sweet. Next in line is MindStand. Michael, are you here?
Yep, I'm here.
Dope. I'm gonna mute myself and let you share your screen and take it away.
Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon for everyone on the East Coast. My name is Michael Ogusanya. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MindStand, and we're measuring company culture one post at a time. I'm sure we can all agree that culture eats strategy for breakfast. How we show up in the workplace, how we evaluate startups and evaluate businesses is largely dependent on organizational culture. Culture determines the output, where 11% of companies with a more inclusive strategy are able to produce higher revenues than other non-diverse and inclusive corporations. For companies that fail to foster an inclusive and diverse community, suffer from lost revenue, where over $223 billion have been lost in turnover directly related to workplace culture. The fact that we're not all in sunny Miami or San Francisco having this call is a factor of how remote technologies have increased the level of access. We can meet, collaborate, and connect with people all virtually. That's where MindStand comes into play. For companies that are losing money and creating absolute nightmares of workplace cultures, MindStand helps measure that company culture. We've built an AI platform that measures company culture as well as community inclusion. Things like, what is the women representation in conversations around marketing? Or how has your DEI initiatives actually resulted in an increase in employee satisfaction? Removing the employee survey process and creating a proactive way to integrate and understand company culture. And as you saw, MindStand is built by people who deeply care and are empathetic towards the problem. I experienced workplace discrimination while working as a human capital consultant at a Fortune 10 organization. Eric Solinder, our CTO, has gained global recognition for building a machine learning concussion research tool. Nikita as well has had renowned research within public and private sector AI. Beyond our team, we have over 8 employees that are committed towards MindStand through machine learning, software engineering, design, and business development. Between our core founding team, we represent over 5 startups that have been exited and successfully grown. MindStand integrates within one of the world's most used collaboration tools, whether it's your company's Slack, G Suite for your growing startup, or Microsoft Teams for your enterprise client. We have a patent pending AI engine that dynamically retrains in order to understand company culture. So we can tell you how culture is trending, whether you're in a construction company or a law firm. This product is for all sizes of companies, whether you're Levi of a CEO, of a small startup CEO, or Mary or Janice, directors at large corporations, MindStand has a unique use case that helps you understand and improve your culture in order to achieve more bottom line revenue. We have a series of products that are designed to help companies throughout the entire lifespan of hiring, retention, and turnover. Whether the bot, culture report, dashboard, and engage, a new product that's sold to the tune of $200,000 in sales, MindStand's providing a comprehensive culture solution using AI to understand how your DAOs moderate, how your DAO is performing, all the way up to how your company culture is trending over time. We have customers and have revenue. Here, as you see here are some examples of company culture and CEOs that can attest towards the value MindStand brings. With our pricing model, we offer an initial 60 days free, giving companies the chance to achieve the value MindStand provides. From there, we have a scale-up pricing model that's competitive with our market. In our sales pipeline, we've been able to directly engage with some of the biggest corporations in the world, knowing that our technology is unique and stands out from others. Companies like Home Depot directly want MindStand to integrate within their 490,000 member Yammer community in order to measure and improve inclusion. T. Rowe Price is in the process of confirming an integration, as well as Jobs for the Future, looking to present our product to their C-suite next month. As well as you see here, we've directly engaged with DEI officers at every company within the sales pipeline here, and they want to use MindStand. This is novel technology, and we understand that, which is why we've built a partnership model that leverages our technology and community in order to help companies build their own business pipeline. Hire Runner, as you see here, Arlen Hamilton's portfolio company, after meeting with her last week at Black Demo Day, or Black Tech Week, would like to use MindStand as a toolkit within their 500 going up to 1,000 runners, so that when they engage with clients, as well as the HR firms that you see here, MindStand is a tool within their toolkit. Our competition. We understand that this DEI space is crowded, which is why we're not competing in it. MindStand is a culture product, With our analytics and our unique value proposition, MindStand's taking a step away from the competition of compliance and employee experience and offering a robust solution to take in millions of data at one point and produce measurable outcomes on employee satisfaction, inclusion, toxicity, and more. And where we're going. We completed the Techstars Equitech program, have raised over $340,000, and are in process now of raising our pre-seed round. As you see here, MindStand's on track to see $40,000 in MRR, and we have the opportunity with this round to unlock $5 million in annual recurring revenue. We have an exit strategy where you saw Centropy, which is one of our closest competitors, was bought out by Discord last year. Smarsh, one company actively looking at licensing our technology, has expressed exit interest. How might they acquire our solution? And often it's asked, why doesn't Facebook or Twitter build this? There's already been so much legal and antitrust issues that big companies like Facebook, Twitter, Microsoft, and more fear the ability to create technology for inclusion, and largely their business model benefits from it. We're offering new technology with a strong team, and we're asking for $1 million. Of that, we've raised $500,000 committed in order to achieve $5 million in revenue. We have a 12 to 18-month burn rate, offering at a $6 million note with a 20% discount. This will allow us to invest so that we can ramp up our product to support the growing customer base, integrations in HRIS systems, audio recognition, and more. We're becoming the gold standard in addressing workplace culture, and I'd love to connect with you today. Thanks.
Amazing job, Michael. Some love for you in the chat as well from people listening. As usual, I'm gonna pause here and open it up for anyone with questions. One thing that comes to mind for me is just thinking about the current employee-employer climate. In a world where a lot of companies are downsizing, what does MindStand do to stay relevant?
Absolutely. We're in the position in America's history where there's the opportunity for the first smart layoffs. Often layoffs are seen as removing people at large from their organization, whether it's a geographic region or a specific role. Companies with our analytics are able to see how can they remove people from the company while still preserving the culture of inclusion and removing toxicity. The worst thing you can do is to lay off 500 employees, and 250 of them were actual culture builders. So MindStand's built a culture builder as well as culture detractor model, where we can show you if you're going to make this change in your culture and the fabric of how you work, do it in a way that still preserves the way for you to still achieve revenue with MindStand's analytics.
Gotcha. Really good answer. And then my second question is kind of interesting because I know we have some folks who are more tied to the African continent here, but I'd be curious about how you think about MindStand, maybe in the context of the African ecosystem that is seeing a lot of companies start to grow and scale. I know that your focus has been the US, but I'd be curious to hear if you've been thinking a bit about applying this to the African ecosystem outside of North America.
Absolutely. A large percentage of our focus of the pre-seed round is to achieve GDPR compliance. So for a tool like MindStand, whether you're using a Slack in your home of Nigeria or in South Africa, you can transmit data and get analytics for us. So in bar none, we're allowing our product to be used and fit within compliance to be sold across waters. But two, not only is it diversity of people, but diversity of thought. Now, in Africa is home to hundreds, thousands of cultures, and how might you be able to measure that as a proponent of culture is something MindStand seeks to understand. So this pre-seed raise will allow us to expand our scope and specifically service African Nigerian brothers and sisters.
Love it. Speaking of the raise, anyone committed that you're able to share with us so far, or still sort of under wraps?
Yes. So we have out of this 500K commitments from Ignite Capital, Tedco, as well as Kipling Capital and K1 Investment Group. Around a check size of 100K, we're able to close on these deals with another 95,000 in angel investments committed, with the average check size of 10K. That 95,000 has already been invested in the MindStand at our terms.
Sweet. And we've got a question coming in hot from the chat. Can you talk about how you measure culture enhancers versus detractors, with the knowledge that the data collected through this platform impact employment, change how employees answer questions? So yeah, I'm gonna let you take that.
Yeah, there's a study of diverted attention where by introducing mindset into a company for 2 weeks, there's a level of understanding. How can this work? How is privacy? Is this Big Brother? But after those 2 weeks, within those 2 weeks, they might move to Telegram, to Signal. But once they understand the tangible value of MindStand, again, getting a dashboard to measure company culture in a positive way, seeing burnout and creating ways for intentional days of rest, as well as anonymous reporting via the bot. Once they see that value, within 2 weeks, they shift right back to how they were working beforehand. So even if there's this question on what does MindStand do, what's the value, they're able to, after 2 weeks, see the value and then continue working within a consistent space. So MindStand's able to, again, from burnout to sentiment and tone, provide analytics, but then provide ways for anonymous reporting, something I wish I had when I experienced workplace discrimination.
That's an amazing answer. Alrighty, we got time for one last question if anyone has any. Otherwise, we will move to the last presenter today. Alrighty, no more questions for you, Michael. As usual, I will share your stuff with